Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2020 Saleen Sportruck XR Black Label. Now this has 1,356 horsepower, 1,021 pounds-feet of torque from a 7.5 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. The car itself now weighs 4,339 pounds, still has its all-wheel drive and off-road suspension, but it now has off-road tyres to go along with it, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 3.636 seconds, 0 to 106.136 seconds, and going to a top speed of 202 miles an hour. So yeah, obviously this is a more than capable off-road truck, as you can see by the 9.8 off-road stat. And yeah, the braking, the launch, the acceleration and the top speed are all fairly good as well. But like with other off-road vehicles like this, the handling is not perfect by any means. Now granted, the stat does not necessarily mean it's going to be a bad handling car, but it isn't a good indication either. So yeah, could go either way, but obviously this has nearly twice the power it had originally. And yeah, even though I did try to upgrade the standard car's engine, we were only getting about 955 horsepower thereabouts, so not a lot, and certainly not enough for a car of this kind of size and weight. So yeah, swapped a new engine into it, and yeah, that certainly bumped power up a fair old bit, although it's nowhere near as powerful as the Hummer EV in the previous episode, which managed to get into 6th place despite being such a heavyweight vehicle. Now obviously this is a lot lighter than that car, but it is also a lot less powerful. And being a combustion engine, the power isn't quite as immediate as the electric motors in that EV. So, yeah. But who knows? Maybe the lack of weight will make this a bit more controllable and a bit more agile. And even though it's not got as much power as that Hummer, it's by no means a underpowered car. So, yeah, it's got plenty of firepower on the go. Decent rate of speed. Also upgraded to a 7-speed gearbox, or 7-speed race transmission even. So now the gearing is a lot better. So yeah, its controllability is pretty good so far. The handling stat isn't coming true so as it is stands, but yeah, could easily go wrong at any point. It has done for many a car on this series, but yeah. Dealt with that landing extremely well. All of that suspension travel coming in handy. So yeah, I really rather like this truck in its stock form. It's probably not the one that people will go to immediately if they want a high performance truck. There are obviously plenty of other vehicles out there like this, like the Hennessy and the Jeep Trailcat, all of the dirty versions of, you know, F-Series trucks. So yeah, I'm sure there are other options that people will go for, but for me I like this for its off-road capabilities and its more simplistic approach to the way it looks, because, you know, it's not been heavily overhauled in terms of the way it visually is looking. It's had enough of an overhaul to be distinct from the vehicle that it's based upon. So yeah, a good showing here so far. Nothing really wrong with it. It's just all about whether or not it's actually going to be all that quick. Handling stat is nowhere near representative of what this car can actually do. Again, getting up to a good rate of speed. This is the first Saleen that we've had on this series, so let's see if it puts us in for a good showing to start the brand off with. 3 minutes 21.894, so nothing mega special, certainly not as quick as the Hummer in the previous episode, which was, yeah, 7 seconds or so quicker than this, but still, that is a decent showing for what is an off-road truck. And yeah, it's right in line with other vehicles of a similar type. It's slightly behind the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon, but it's ahead of the likes of the Toyota Hilux 8038, the Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, the Honda Ridgeline Baja Trophy Truck, the Hoonigan Volkswagen Baja Beetle. It's ahead of the Chevrolet K10 Custom, the GMC Jimmy, and the Sierra Car 700R and a Subaru Legacy RS. So yeah, ahead of several other vehicles that are also meant for going off-road. But yeah, it is behind the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon, which is same year as this, same kind of size as this, same kind of weight as well. So yeah, it's a little bit of a shame that it's not quite as quick as that, because I definitely prefer this over that Gladiator. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was still a controllable vehicle, this, and yeah, handled the extra power really rather nicely. And yeah, the handling stat, even though it is on the low side, wasn't quite as representative as you might have expected it to be, because yeah, it was reasonably agile, handled the power nicely, handled the bumps and jumps perfectly, and yeah, was just no real trouble at all to drive. Just so happens to not be particularly quick in a straight line enough to make up for any of its other deficiencies. So yeah, at the end of the day, 1356 horsepower isn't seemingly enough for a truck of this size and weight, but it would have been a lot slower had I kept the original engine upgraded fully. So yeah, just the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, I'm still overall impressed by it, and liking it as much as I do. It could have been you know, a lot worse had I well, you know what I mean. It could have been a lot worse, even regardless of how much I like it, but it would have also been nicer for it to have been quicker. But yeah, the cars you generally like on this game aren't necessarily going to be the fastest, as I've learned on online racing and certainly on this series. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.